Hello and welcome to all of our viewers tuned in. This is TMH English Daily News. Our headlines today includes the Ethiopian sanctions bill has advanced in the Congress. The World Medical Association, also known as WMA, condemns Ethiopia's humanitarian crisis. And WFP says 13 million people across Ethiopia, Kenya, as well as Somalia are facing hunger, extreme severe hunger. The U.S. Congress on Tuesday advanced a firm Ethiopia sanctions bill. So this bill would assist Biden administration efforts to broker ceasefire while pushing ahead with a possible genocide designation. This comes as President Joe Biden's administration tries to bring Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and Tigray forces into the negotiating table. The House Foreign Affairs Committee voted by voice to advance the bipartisan legislation introduced by Democrat Tom Malinowski. Malinowski said the governments of Ethiopia and Eritrea have the greater capacity to cause suffering. What we were saying today is simply that it has to stop, he stated. Malinowski's bill would impose sanctions on anyone who undermines a negotiated settlement to Ethiopia's civil war, has committed gross human rights breaches in the conflict, has hindered the delivery of humanitarian aid, or even has attacked any UN staff. It would also place sanctions on anyone who has provided conventional arms, training, or financial support in any party included within this war. It would also require the Biden administration to use Washington's influence at organizations such as the IMF to block loans to Addis Ababa and stop the International Development Finance Corporation from funding further projects within Ethiopia. The legislation would also require Secretary of State Antony Blinken to determine whether the actions by the Ethiopian government or even the TPLF constitute as a genocide within the 3 months after the bill has become law. The provision is notable because the administration has intentionally paused the legal review considering whether Ethiopia's government's action in Tigray amounts to a genocide as part of a bid to draw Mr. Abiy to the negotiating table. Ethiopia has cut internet, phone, and media access in the Tigray region since the conflict erupted in November 2020, while reportedly complicating or even completely halting the delivery of humanitarian aid and supplies into the war-torn region. Witnesses have described widespread human rights abuses in Tigray, including the displacements of murder of civilians, gang rapes, the destruction of civilian infrastructure, as well as the burning of their crops as well. The World Medical Association condemns Ethiopia's humanitarian crisis. The World Medical Association has expressed its alarm about the humanitarian crisis that is blocking medical supplies within the entirety of Ethiopia. Dr. Heidi Stensmeyer, president of the World Medical Association, said that in several regions of Ethiopia, government airstrikes were disrupting medical aid, leading to single-use items such as gloves, surgical materials, and even chest drains to be washed and then reused after. In some places, doctors had replaced disinfectants with salt to clean wounds because they didn't have any more. And these are alarming reports from the International Committee of the Red Cross, as the doctor said in a press release. Patients are receiving expired medications, oxygen plants are not working anymore, and some health facilities cannot even provide routine vaccinations either. This situation must be denounced, as the doctor stated. The World Medical Association called for the protection and urgent support of health facilities as well as personnel, and it noted that humanitarian law requires that all parties in the conflict refrain from attacking, misusing health facilities, transport, as well as personnel. The World Medical Association added that it is vital that medical neutrality is respected at all times and that the violations constitute crime become justified as well. Over 2,400 Tigrayans are illegally detained in Aba Samuel concentration camps in the capital of Addis Ababa. Over 1,200 Tigrayans detainees who were in Mizan Tepe have recently been transferred to Aba Samuel Black 2, bringing the total of number of illegally detained Tigrayans in Aba Samuel to nearly 2,500 civilians. Over 1,200 Tigrayans have been languishing at the concentration camp for more than 2 months now. 2 blocks in Aba Samuel are full of Tigrayans detained under extremely harsh conditions. Tens of thousands of Tigrayans are said to be illegally detained in the capital and other regions of Ethiopia outside of Tigray as well. The World Food Programme says 13 million people across Ethiopia, Kenya, and Somalia are facing severe hunger. WFP warned that the Horn of Africa is experiencing the driest conditions recorded since the year of 1981. Michael Dunford, regional director in the WFP Regional Bureau for Eastern Africa, says harvests are ruined, livestock are dying, and hunger is growing at a recurrent droughts effect of the Horn of Africa. He said the situation requires immediate humanitarian action, consistent support to build the resilience for the communities of the future. Humanitarian partners have appealed for more than $4.4 billion to provide life-saving assistance and protection to about 29.1 million within the countries of Ethiopia, Kenya, as well as Somalia. Unidentified armed groups in Amhara region have looted weapons and breaks into the inmates out of prison. Reports indicate that the attack happened at a district correctional center in the town of Nefas Maucha in Warada of South Gondar zone. The armed group opened fire on the Warada's police station and militia office at 1 a.m. local time on the 7th of February 2022. The Amhara Regional Prisoners Commission and the Regional Police Commission issued a joint statement saying an organized group operating in the guise of Fano, which are also known as the Amhara Youth Vigilante, looted the correctional center and broke prisoners free. The Regional Police Commissioner, Takola Iforkri, has said the crime was committed by the armed groups who impersonate Fano. According to the commissioner, in collaboration with the security forces and the political leaders of the zone, an operation and criminal investigation team has been deployed to rearrest escaped prisoners and hold perpetrators to account as well. He added some of the looted weapons were recovered. In a meeting the Security Council held in January, Temesgen Taruna, director of the General of the National International Security Services, said the necessary measures will be taken on to informal forces based on the studies that have been conducted. Although the former Amhara region president didn't directly refer to Fano in his comments, generated backlash from proponents of the Fano structure as well. Global Television Networks of Africa secures land in Ethiopia to build their new headquarters. Global Television Network of Africa, a pan-African media house under formation, has secured 5,000 meters of land from Addis Ababa city for the construction of its headquarters. This was announced yesterday by the CEO of the Global Television Network of Africa, Gurum Chala, who indicated that the company will build state-of-the-art headquarters for the upcoming soon media house. The announcement about the media outlet securing land came a few days after Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed of Ethiopia called on all African leaders to have a pan-African media house that narrates the true stories of all Africans. Observers say that this is yet another example of Abiy's harping about external interferences within the continent as a way of disguising his atrocities in the name of Pan-Africanism. Political science scholar Nhosai Badlai says Abiy Ahmed has manipulated the noble notion of Pan-Africanism to camouflage unethical and illegal state of conduct and legitimize massacres, rape, as well as the wanton destruction of people, private property of Tigray, as he says in a statement. That concludes our news for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Goodbye.